Hi, I'm Avon. I work in television and I'm David's mentee.
And I'm David, and I'm a retired regulatory affairs consultant, and I'm Avon's mentor.
So how long have you two been in this mentoring relationship?
David has been mentoring me for about 2 years now.
I remembered that Jen Lee approached me and say, "Hey Dad, do you want to mentor someone?" Before that, I've really not had any formal mentoring. I'm game for the challenge. So I said, okay, let's go.
I think you are game, that's great. And similarly, Jen Lee approached me and said, Avon, I know you're looking for a mentor. How would you like to be mentored by my dad? I also thought, sure, why not? I'm game as well. We got along so easily and suddenly it was just like you were a big part of my life.
I had a little bit of apprehension. What do we do? What will we be doing? At first meeting, of course, we didn't make any particular plan for what to say or what not to say. So we just introduced ourselves and got to know one another then.
We're going to be answering some commonly asked questions about mentoring in our church. Let's see. What has your mentor taught you about God? That's a really good question. What have you taught me about God, David? No, you've taught me many things about God. I think the main thing that David has taught me about God is that the Word is our weapon. For a lot of my Christian walk, I don't think I really appreciated how valuable the Bible is. If you just really fill your mind with the Word, that actually is a powerful tool to protect you and guide you and help you understand better God's character.
What has your mentee taught you about God? I felt more the question should be, what has God taught me about my mentee? But I think the most important thing about what God has taught me about Avon, there is this place in a person's heart that is empty, or maybe needs to be filled, or maybe needs to be talked about together as a mentor and a mentee. That's how I felt that God has taught me, that I'm there and I can be there for Avon whenever he needs me.
How has this mentoring relationship grown you? I think it's grown me tremendously. To come back to the point about understanding the Word more, I've really grown in that area. We've read a lot of the Bible together. But ultimately, I think the example that I've learned from you is how to live a humble life and how to be humble before God. And just always respond to anything in life by seeking God first. I think that's probably the most growing lesson that I've had.
For me as a mentor, I had to focus in the relationship. Just like my relationship with my daughters, focus on relationship with Avon as a person, as an individual. It's quite different with having relationship with a life group. We have to learn to trust one another as we talk things through. Sometimes we face some tough issues and difficult questions. We need to be dependent on the Holy Spirit to speak first, and then we can share. What is one thing about your mentee that inspires or challenges you? You heard what I've been trying to impress in your walk with the Lord, and you applied it. And that really sort of an inspiration to me, because it could have been that I said things and then it just go one ear and out the other. Someone else came to me about Avon, that he was asked to do things and he doesn't just react or respond immediately. Sometimes he would just say, just wait, let me seek the Lord first. And that is impressive.
What is one thing about your mentor that inspires or challenges you? I think you always inspire me to respond to I guess, the commands of Christ, and again, listen to the Holy Spirit and be obedient. It's not always easy, but I'm always inspired by your attitude of humility and always choosing to say yes to Christ. That's really simplified the way that I view the world. One of the best questions you've posed to me is, even in your life, in everything that you do, who does it glorify? Does it glorify you or does it glorify Christ? That's worth its weight in gold. So I've been very inspired and challenged. What differences had to be worked through in this mentoring relationship? Well, David, you being so much younger than me, I think it required a level of open-mindedness from both parties. I sort of went into it quite enthused because I think there's a lot in my life as a young person which I don't think I have the answer to this, and I don't think my peers might have the answer to it either. You can try all kinds of things, and I feel like you've spoken a lot about the mistakes that you've made along in your life, which has been so refreshing to hear. That you've tried all of these other things, and ultimately the only thing that worked was trusting in God. I don't know, it feels like there are many differences between us, but there are actually a lot of similarities.
Yeah, I see that, in fact, there are more similarities than differences. When we talk about life, about the struggle and the challenges that you face, I'm sort of seeing myself like 30, 40 years ago. You face these issues in your walk with God. I've done it 10, 20 more times than you have. And so that made it a lot easier for me to be able to share about my personal walk and relationship with the Lord when we stumble. Any encouragement for everyone. The success of mentoring or discipleship it's not anything to do with what I do or say in particular. But the success of mentoring I see is that a person grow closer in their walk with Jesus.
I say, go for it. I think everyone should be mentored. I think everyone should be a mentor. I think everyone has something to offer and something to learn. The Christian walk should be one that's done not alone, but with people to guide you and to walk alongside you. And I've personally been very blessed by this mentoring relationship. For those, I guess, who are considering becoming a mentor, God has designed your life in a certain way that can speak to someone else's life. It's like you've got the right amount of life experience for a reason, and that could really bless somebody else's life when they're going through the same things.
Yeah, and I think the other part is being a mentor. It doesn't really mean that, I know everything. A lot of time I don't know how to answer, the questions.
Thanks for joining us today. Thank you, David, and we'll enjoy the rest of the service. Woo!
You can throw the board if you want to.
Hi, I'm Avon. I work in television, and I am David's mentor. Forget it. It's funny, we're one generation of mentor and mentee, but actually the cameraman behind the camera, Anthony, is also my mentee.
Come on, sit down.
All right, now it's my turn now.
What has your mentor taught you about God? Yeah, what have I taught you about God?